Hello, my beautiful beauties and my wonderful lovelies. A pleasant afternoon to you. Beautiful people, listen to me. You may know somebody many years ago, let us say, for instance, and perhaps they did you wrong. 10, 20 years pass, so a decade pass, 2 decades pass, and somebody may bring up the individual. And when you're talking about the individual, you're talking about the individual as though it was 10, 20 years ago. And that individual perhaps have even changed for the better, perhaps for the worse. But sometimes, if not more often than not, they tend to change for the better. The reason why I'm saying that is that life tends to humble people. Yes. And people often confuse humility with how you look on the outside. You know, the person looks very low and squeezed and squished. We think that's humility. And if you don't, if you, without makeup or without jewelry and you're in a long dress and you look very pious and down, they assume that is humility. And that is why they get tricked. But that's not necessarily, that's not the case. A quiet look is not necessarily a humble heart. And oftentimes humble people look very, ostentatious and fantabulous and extroverted and very flamboyant like myself. But we recognize our mortality. We recognize that there is a God who sits high and he looks low, and everything that you do, he knows them, and you will be held accountable, or he will reward you in accordance to what you do. So if 10, 20 years pass and you're still talking the same way about that individual, you have to do some introspection and reflection on your own heart to see why you're still at that same place. Because they could even change. Even if they don't change, you should be at the position in your life where you even pray for the individual. You should even be the same. You should say, even if they're that particular way, I pray that God transforms their heart, or their hearts, their minds, and their souls to become better people. You shouldn't be talking the same way. Give people the opportunity to change. God gave you the opportunity to change for the better. So extend that grace, extend that mercy, extend that compassion to somebody else. Because just like you, they're the God is a potter and they're the clay. And in his time, he molds people little by little until they become the swan that they were designed to become. Give people a chance. Don't talk about people who you may have had an issue with 10, 20, 50, 100, a million years ago the same way today. Your talk must be good. It must be a blessing on their lives so that that blessing can come back to you and to those of your family and friends. Follow me on TikTok, subscribe to my YouTube channel, share this.